We have just offered the 1 hour Nama Sankirtan at the lotus feet of Bhagwan. Let us all remember at this moment his powerful statement. When you chant the name of Shiva, Shiva is instantly present. When you chant the name of Rama, Rama is instantly present. When you chant the name of Yogi Ramsuratkumar, my father, my Supreme Father, is instantly present. We also should remember, he's adding, the meaning of the word God is his presence. So let's also remember Bhagwan's word. Not a single Nama goes waste. So every Nama we all chant carries his vibrant divine presence. The presence that knows our agony, our prayers. Hence, with faith and hope, we will continue to chant, especially together. More so in the presence of Bhagwan's Murti here, a place of high power, energy. With the offering of our 1 hour Nama Sankirtan at his lotus feet, in this beautiful evening, we shall start our prayer with another story of Nama's glory. This happened several years ago. There was a lady about 36 to 37 years of age who was devoted to Sri Ramana and was doing service in Ramanashram. After a visit to Sri Yogiji, she became devoted to him also and picked up his name. One day, after a trip to some place, she returned to Tiruvannamalai by bus. It was about 8:30 in the night. In those days, Tiruvannamalai was still very undeveloped. There were more trees all around and a few buildings. More rickshaws and bullock carts than autos. And also, in the night, there were very few electric bulbs. They were mostly dim or did not burn at all. When she landed at the bus stand, she looked around for some rickshaw to take her to Ramanashram. Suddenly, out of nowhere, came an auto, and she was only too happy she could go to the Ramanashram fast. So she got into it, but after 15 minutes or so, to her shock and horror, she found herself being driven in a very lonely, deserted lane, surrounded by trees all around. Her intuition said to her, this was no way to the ashram, and the driver had some evil design on her. She was absolutely terrified. She remembered Yogiji's name and his assurance, when you are in difficulty, call out this beggar's name. My father would rush help to you. Though she was afraid to chant loudly, she began to repeat mentally his name, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, rather desperately. Within minutes, the auto driver screamed as though his very life was in danger. What was more, he took a U-turn, came to Ramanashram Road, went straight to the ashram and dropped her. She, for her part, became very curious because she found this man sweating profusely and trembling. She asked the driver what happened. Why did he scream? He said with folded hands, Amma, I was taking you to a lonely spot with some evil design on you. But right in the middle of the lane, there was this old man with a beard, standing with the rod in hand, waving it towards me threateningly. What was more, there was fire in his eyes. I got the fright of my life. Amma, who was that old man? How is he related to you? Why was he there? She was filled with tears. She was overwhelmed, just as I am overwhelmed now. And she didn't reply anything. She She had tears trickling down her cheeks and then ran into Ramanashram. She knew that Swami was personally there to save her from the clutches of this man. She knew that it was the name Yogi Ramsuratkumar that did the miracle. She was doing service in Ramanashram till the very end of her life, visited Yogiji with great devotion whenever possible. We have all chanted together for 1 hour the glorious name of Bhagwan, which has done many miracles in everyone's life. So let us all chant more and pray. Now here is another story of his glory, his Nama's glory. Several months back, maybe 8 months or 9 months, I don't quite remember, a group of Americans had come to the ashram for Satsang. Now in the Satsang, after some discussion, after description of Bhagwan's life and his teachings, I told them about the glory of the name. So in the end I said, even if you don't have devotion, because you people are all new, even if you don't have concentration, even if you don't have faith, Bhagwan had said that you could still chant the name, but whenever you are in difficulty in life, it doesn't matter, you just call out his name and see what happens. They all smiled, folded their hands in namaskar and left. After some time, they had a tour all over India and finally they landed in Bangalore to return to America. Some 23 of them, a group of 23, and they were caught as they were moving towards the airport in a van. They were caught in the heavy traffic of Bangalore. Everybody knows the traffic of Bangalore. They were caught there. They had to be in the airport 2 hours before the plane, the takeoff. But then they were caught in the middle and there was no way they could get there in time. Already 1 hour had passed and they're still halfway through. So they did not know what to do because they were going to lose all that money. For 23 people, they would lose the money. And what was more, they had to wait for booking again. So they were desperate. And then the leader of the group suddenly remembered what he said in the satsang. He said, Ma said, let us all start the name. And then they started chanting. And they were chanting and chanting and chanting all the way through. But when they landed there in the airport, it was half an hour after takeoff time. Absolutely, there was no hope that they would get back the money. And then they did not know what to do. So, very bewildered, they moved towards a counter and then asked, for the sake of asking, what happened? And then the counterman said, oh, you belong to this particular flight. Okay, please rush. People are just boarding the plane. They just could not believe their ears. What are you saying? It is 1 hour, it's half an hour after takeoff time. He said, no. The plane that was there, ready to take off, it developed a technical snag. And so everybody had to get down and board another plane, and they're all boarding just now. You please go and join. They were so happy, besides themselves, and they rushed there, and they boarded the plane, and then they thanked heartily Yogi Ramsuratkumar. So you see, the impossible becomes possible just by chanting his name. So remembering this, and also remembering Bhagwan's promising assurance that not a single nama goes waste. And we are so many people chanting together. And in the presence, in the sanctum sanctorum of Bhagwan, at that, there is a great power, a huge energy rising out of it. And I am very sure, we can all be very sure that this will not go waste. This must already be doing its job of alleviating the suffering of people.